So guys, welcome back. Dito naman tayo sa game number 3. Still we're doing the draft analysis for the SEA Games Grand Finals between PH and Indonesia. Currently we are at game number 3. PH is in the blue side, is on the blue side, and Indonesia is on the red side. Now PH, again, same set of bans. They remove the Ling, they remove the Fanny, and they remove the Franco. Kailangan mo talaga tanggalin yung Franco lalo kapag nasa blue side ka. Even on the right side, I would say, kasi you're not gonna pick up the Franco, so might as well ban it. Pero ang problema kasi sa red side, you have to ban out the Valentina. So talagang pag red side, pabor kay Indonesia kasi kulang tayo ng ban kasi again, may nawawalang may kailangan ibigay talaga kay Valentina. Now PH, actually Indonesia, they banned out Valentina. I would say common na yan. Kapag red side ka, kailangan mo talaga tanggalin yan. Matilda and 1-1. Estes is open, pero again, it's a pick that you don't want to be picking up in the first phase. No? So for PH, okay na tong set ng bans ito. No? They picked up the Saber for PH. And in Indonesia, they went for the Eve and Baksha. Honestly, guys, sorry nawala yung screen. Honestly, real talk lang, I don't like the Eve pick here for Indonesia. Honestly, for the reason that they picked it for conservative reasons. No, they picked it kasi it's a safe pick, and then you also don't want to reveal anything on the side of Indonesia yet. So again, it's just a conservative pick, pero I would have rather seen Indonesia pick support on the second phase kasi you're already showing the savior and you still have a lot of options, no. Nandiyan pa yung Eve, nandiyan yung Lolita, nandiyan yung Sicilian. So again, I would say that this Eve was just a pick that they made because of conservative reasons. They don't want to be showing up their heroes yet. Pero pwede na sila pwede na silang kumuha din ng Angela honestly. Kung talagang kasi kanina, 'di ba, nung game number 1, I think, kinuha kagad nila Angela. Pero baka ayaw na nilang gawin 'yun, which is weird still kasi okay pa rin naman yung Angela, and there's still the possibility that they pick up this Baksha Angela combo. Pero again, maybe the reason is they just don't want to reveal anything yet for the side of Indonesia. So Philippines, they went for the Esmeralda and Akai, very strong opener for PH, very strong early game heroes. You have the Akai, again the jungle Akai, very strong jungler, especially during fights against the Eve. So that's already a +1 for Philippines. No, this is a favorable matchup already for PH. That's why I don't really like showing at the Eve as early as this. Kasi ang dami pang pwedeng ang dami pang pwedeng pang demonyo diyan 'di ba? The Yuzongs, even the Paquitos, yung mga Ruby. So I don't like the way Indonesia showed this Eve pick. Lalo pa saber lang kita nila for the side of Philippines. So again, this Esmeralda will be happy with how things have turned out on this draft, and the Akai, just a strong hero in general. So Indonesia, they picked up the Beatrix on the last pick on the first phase, which is kind of expected. You wanted to do this against PH kasi on the second set of bans, you can remove all the gold laners for Gonzalez or even ban out other heroes for Villaluna kasi you already got the best gold laner at the moment, no. The only remaining option here for Philippines is to either go for Claude or a Brody, I would say. But even then, okay pa rin yun. So if you ban both, Philippines is gonna lose all gold laners actually. Kapag nagpo-put ko pa sila dito, hindi rin ganun kaganda. So I think that's where the course of action is going. The course of the draft is going for Indonesia. Pero there's still a lot of factors to consider. Basta ang importante, nakuha na ng Indonesia yung kanilang Beatrix. So that's already a great thing, no? So Indonesia, I don't think you have to ban out the Roth here. Kasi meron silang Esmeralda. They can actually pick the Roth themselves. No, they can actually pick the Roth themselves. It's good against Esmeralda. Although not great against Akai. Kasi tutula ka lang ni Akai. And then also there's the CC factor for Del Rosario. So I don't think it's a 100% guaranteed pick for Indonesia. Might as well, if you're not gonna pick it, leave it open kasi hindi rin na may pick ng Philippines. Claude is one option. Lolita, actually, Lolita. And Lolita is such a good hero for Villaluna here kasi it punishes a lot of things, the Beatrix, and then there's also the Eve. Kapag kumasa ng real world manipulation, yung Eve, pwede mong latagan kagad ng Numenor Blast. So Philippines, again, they banned out the Roth. It's just a great pick for Indonesia, all in all. And you don't want to be playing up against that, looking at the two cores of PH. So Indonesia, they have the choice here to ban out the Claude. Again, as for the points that we've talked about, no, it's a good hero against Indonesia. Although not a strong laner against the Beatrix, still, you have to consider the late game factor of PH. May protection din kasi na pwedeng ibigay yung Akai. So there you go. Claude is banned out. Now, Philippines, they might just ban out Angela for the sake of for the sake of argument. Ruby. Okay. So ayaw nila yung Ruby, probably ni R7 at ni Vin kasi yung Ruby Eve combo sobrang demonyo niyan. Lalo pat sa kamay ng Indonesia, no? Kasi kapag lumabas yung Ruby, baka mapapick ng Digi yung Philippines. So it's just a bad trade overall. So Indonesia, they can either go for I don't like this Uranus. Again, okay. Here's the thing. Uranus, you pick up the Uranus here. I don't know why. Pwedeng i-last pick sana yan. I would have wanted to see a roamer picked up by Indonesia. Kasi the thing is, you gave PH an opportunity to counter this Uranus. Probably lalabas dito yung carry from PH. Kasi it's just a good hero that can melt Baksha and Uranus. So baka, alam mo, parang binigyan mo ng opportunity mag-carry yung PH. Kasi eto personally, if they didn't show this Uranus, baka mag-Clint yung PH. Kasi it's just a safe pick against the Beatrix. So that's one reason why I would hide this Uranus. Pero probably, ito naman yung trade-off. Baka iniisip kasi na Indonesia, they wanted to see more. They wanted to see the Rome matchup between between Vin and Villaluna. So that might have been the factor that they've been considering. Kasi may Digi potential. May Digi potential. Honestly, if they pick up either a Kufra or Atlas here for Indonesia, ang kinakatakot kasi ata nila baka mag-Digi. And Digi is actually okay here kasi wala namang sobrang invasive na hero even though there's the Baksha, meron ka namang Akai. So I think ang worried lang nila is baka pag kumuha sila ng Rome, mag-Digi kagad si Villaluna and it has been it has worked. So baka yun yung concern ng Indonesia. But then again, I would rather see other heroes here over other than the Uranus. Honestly, I would have picked up a Pakito. Just for the sole reason na kahit anong i-pick mong marksman dito for the side of Philippines, you can deal with on the skirmishes kasi may damage ka. Uranus will just be a walking target for the Saber to control, for the Esmeralda to deal with, and for the Akai to zone. So yun lang yung main problem dito with the Uranus pick. Honestly, I don't like this Uranus pick. If they wanted to hide the Rome, you would have rather picked up other XP laners like the Masha. Actually, Masha sounds terrible here. Pero meron kang Pakito, meron kang Yuzong. Unfortunately, walang Derot. So, go. Hirap na to eh. Indonesia picked the safest XP lane choice here. Pero again, you just gave an opportunity for PH to counter the Uranus. So, probably baka mag sila dito. Baka mag-carry. Even though Rafaela sounds bad against Baksha, I would consider it. Just for the sole reason that there's a lot of mobile heroes on the side of Philippines. So it helps a lot kasi ma-amplify yung mobility nila. So that is something that PH might consider. Yeah, Rafa carry. Yeah, there you go. Kasi iniisip ko ano ba bang mga naiwan kay Venus? Estes and Rafa. Which would you rather play, Estes or Rafa? The thing about PH's lineup is that they don't stick that well with each other. They'd rather move together and amplify their mobility. So mas maganda yung Rafaela, helps your carry maneuver around fights, and then also boosts your fighting potential for PH. So Rafaela is such a good hero here to pick, even though you're up against Baksha. So Indonesia, what's the choice here? Kufra, At Atlas, I would say Kufra. At least you have a decent catch. You have an ultimate. You have you have team fight. Atlas is also team fight, but is terrible against the early game of PH kasi there's the Akai, there's the Savior, there's the Rafaela, and there's the Kari. So I don't think you have any other choices here. Grok sounds bad for for same reasons that we've talked about with Atlas. Wala sila ibang choice dito. Walang ibang hero si Bin. You don't go Natalia here, honestly. You don't go Natalia. Kasi may Rafaela. So, Kufra. There you go. I would say out of the first 3 games that we've reviewed, this is the ayoko sabihin yung isang word eh. This might have been the weakest draft of Indonesia. I don't like the Eve. I don't like the Eve priority. I don't like the Uranus pick. It's just a weird, it's just a weird pattern coming out from Indonesia, and it gave a lot of opportunities for PH to capitalize. So, and tas yung last pick pa, semi wala no choice. And even though they got the Beatrix, honestly, I would have rather seen the Diroth come out there. Kasi first pick din naman sila second phase eh. Even if the Beatrix gets banned out, you still have the Clint. No, you still have the Popol and Koopa. So, may mga may mga parang may mga mishaps lang on how they treated that draft. They prioritized the Beatrix too early. I still like the Beatrix, to be honest. Pero dahil nga nagkaipitan, I would have rather picked up the XP lane there. I would have rather picked up the Deroth. And wait and see kung makukuha natin yung Beatrix. Kasi even if the Beatrix gets banned out, even if the PH, let's just say for the sake of argument, even if PH bans out both Clint and Beatrix, there's still the Claude. Diba? May Claude pa rin. Actually, Claude doesn't sound really bad here against PH. When they saw Savior, Esmeralda, and Akai, Claude actually sounds decent. No? Brody is still up for the taking. Popol ko ba? Baka hindi. Kasi worry nila doon is yung long range nuke ni Savior. There's also a lot of front lines coming out from PH, and there's no spill damage. There's no teamfight damage. So, the Claude would have worked. So, pwedeng kunin nila yun. Di nila binan for the second phase. So, yeah, again, I would say for the first 3 games, this might have been the weakest draft of, Indonesia. Pero, wala eh. Mas masterful yung drafting na PH eh. So, that is it for game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we still have game number 4. Nandiyan lang yan sa aking YouTube channel. Check out nyo lang yung Midnight. Subscribe na rin kayo. And huwag nyo kakalimutan na i-follow nyo ako sa aking mga social media accounts. It's MDNYT97. That's for Facebook, Twitter, IG, and TikTok. So guys, kita-kits tayo sa game number 4. Bye-bye.